In 2019, I made a full commitment and a promise to myself that I'm going to dedicate as much time towards giving myself the best chance of becoming the most consistent, the most precise, and the most accurate professional pool player that is within my area. Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back again to another video from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. My name is Apex Selenio. If this is the first time you're on the channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, leave some positive questions and comments down below, and do not forget to share this out to your pool community. Now, welcome to the first rack of my Train Like a Pro, Think Like a Pro, Become a Pro series, where I share a few racks from my training sessions during the afternoons or during the nights or during the days when I'm practicing. I do get down on the table and I run a few racks with myself, and what I do find myself doing is that I'm definitely feeling myself, feeling my game, and I'm definitely applying my skill sets that I've garnered over the past 4 years to my game. So I'm definitely making some improvements, and as I made these improvements, I want to share them with you here. Now I'm going to be walking you through the first rack in this series of videos, where I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and advice in order to become a pro and to train like a pro. Let's start off with the break shot here. Over the past couple of weeks, I've really been getting some consistent results on the break. I've definitely been squatting the cue ball in the center of the table, and I've been getting some really good spread. Now I do notice that whenever I break from that position head on and try to hit the one ball full, oftentimes the one ball heads down towards the bottom of the table and hence not giving me any sort of looks. Most of the time when I start these runouts or I do these attempted break and runs, I oftentimes end up with situations like this where I have to start off with some sort of strategy or defense. Now, throughout the video, you will see a stop clock that is in one of the corners of the screen here, monitoring my decision making management time around the table. Of course, lots of players really like whenever it is that it's easy on the eye when you're playing. Not the fans or the patrons who watch you play, they don't necessarily love to see all the methodical stuff. You have to get on with business. But this is a practice session, and of course in a real game I'll be much more quicker in terms of what I'm doing here. But just to guide you through what it is that is happening here, guys, I broke off and I do not have a look at the one, and the only two options that I have is that I could play a potential push out, which is kind of bringing back my opponent to the table, and that is putting you at a disadvantage, or I could try to use one of those advanced kicking systems that I've been sharing here on my channel. Now I do want to show you this reverse two rail kick system. It's the reverse of the +2 kicking system, where you kick from the side rail to the short rail and back to the side rail here. Now I've done all my gestures and my calculations here on the table, and I've just put up a freeze frame here for you. So what is happening here is that I'm aiming towards about 35 on the long rail right here, and I'm aiming from 58. So if I take 35 away from 58, then that's going to be 15 and 8, that's 23. So I'm aiming toward 23 on the side rail with running left spin here. And I do apologize, you weren't able to see the beautiful contact on that one, but I didn't leave my opponent here with anything too easy. Now this is a very tricky rack in terms of you deciding whether to go offense or defense. Now here I'm going to execute a shot that only most likely the professionals know how to execute, because a lot of the times most amateur level players, intermediate level players, they are so much in the offensive mode that they missed opportunities like this here. Now notice what I'm about to do here is that I'm going to be using a stun follow, not even stun, maybe center here, and I'm going to be stopping the cue ball exactly right halfway where the 3 ball is covering up half of the cue ball, and of course with, say here, the right speed, the 1 ball is going to go around 2, potentially 3 rails and head back into a safe area here. Now I already know that by stopping the cue ball there anywhere, as long as this doesn't stop in the middle of the table, it was always going to be a safe here. And if you notice that it landed pretty good because it landed very close to the 2, that means my opponent doesn't really have anything easy to start off with here. So you have to be able to be in the rack and know when to keep control of the aggression, the momentum in the game here. So that was a beautiful safety then. Now the only thing my opponent can do here is of course try to kick 2 rails at the 1. Now there's nothing offensive here, so the only thing that my opponent should be able to do, or I would have to do if I was in this position, I would have to potentially play a soft 2 rail kick here, just trying to nudge the 1 and still keeping the cue ball tight in a tricky position here. Now occasionally, as I said guys, we're gonna miss these kicks regardless if you're using a mathematical system or a field system. You're oftentimes gonna go a little bit long or a little bit short. Now here it is that I tried to kick 2 rails and I didn't have enough side spin. This is a particular shot that I need to go on the table and practice because I'm not really aware of how the rails react when you're using multiple or using excessive side spin here. But what you notice about that kick is that it was a really soft control kick, because of course when you kick wildly and you touch the object ball and scatter the other balls, then what you're going to find is that you're just going to open the table for an offensive opportunity for your opponent. So whenever you're going to make a kick shot, you want to also be aware of the speed at which you're going to be kicking with, because you want to keep the problems here for your opponent to solve. Now I did went a little bit too aggressive here on this bank, because as you can see there, I was trying to bank the 1 and I know that once I can just stun that cue ball away from the 2, I would potentially have what is a 2-4 combination here. That was a little aggressive on my part there. Maybe I should have looked to play a more controlled safety here. Now again, here I do not really have a strong look on the 1. Maybe I could cut it, but I tried to play safe, and that was I failed at that miserably in that particular attempt, because the objective was to try to carry the 1 ball on the short rail and bring the cue ball to about where it is here. A complete sellout, opening up the table here for a nice pot here on the 1. Now you would have seen where I did a video on this particular shot here that I'm about to execute. This is something that you guys need to definitely practice, because this is a high percentage shot there and it's very common in 9 ball. If you notice here how beautifully the stroke was delivered here, very controlled, object ball gliding down the side rail and cue ball in pretty good control in the middle of the table there. You can check that video out. You can see I have a roll running on the screen. Definitely check that video out, guys. It really fine-tunes your game and gives you a lot more control over those kind of pots here. Now I have an easy 2-4 combination here. All I have to do now is just to control where the 2 ball is going to go. I don't want it to go too much on the short rail, even though that's okay, but I would have loved for it to be just in the center of the pocket here. Now that was really tricky. It kind of came a bit close to comfort on that 6. Luckily, as I said, the aim was to try to keep the 2 ball anywhere in the center of the pocket, near to the pocket, so that in the event that I get a nudge from the 6, I would still have an opening shot here. But I was very fortunate to miss that 6 and landed me dead perfect here on a shot to get this, continue my run here. Now I did in fact watched a Dr. Dave Billiards video that he posted with this kind of shot here, and I actually watched it after this rack, and this is potentially something that you guys need to dial down on. I'm gonna do a video on this as well, how to control when you have like a pocket hanger or a ball near the pocket, how the cue ball reacts off the side rails here. Now of course the objective was try to use some inside spin to try to miss the 6 and come back over to this side where I'm looking at on the 3, but I clutched the 6. Fortunately though, I landed in the small window between the 5 and the 9 here to still be able to pot the 3 here. Now J Billiards is a YouTube channel that teaches you some unique ways to make pots like these here. And I'll leave a link in the description box below. Watch how beautiful that real cut shot was. That 3 ball was frozen on the rail, and I use a really unique system here. I rarely miss these pots unless I really rush the shot. You can see how beautifully that was cut. 3 ball hugging the rail and cue ball just following the natural tangent line there after the pot. And that was beautifully controlled because of course I knew that coming back over to this left side of the table here would give me some sort of look here on the 5. Now this is really tricky because I'm not sure from this angle where the camera is at, it doesn't look like the 5 can pass, but based on my body language, doesn't seem as if I'm too concerned about the pot. Now what I'm doing here is that I'm visualizing my cue ball's path. I'm finding the pocket line and I'm finding the aiming line here, but you would have already seen that I'm actually going to be potting the 5 and try to slide back over to where the 5 is about there. But what I did though is that I kind of, even though I got perfect position here on the 6, I did in fact miscalculate where the cue ball was going. I potted it there, definitely using some center ball there, and it went in the exact path based on how I potted the shot. But my intent was to apply a bit more draw. Apparently maybe it cannot be done, I don't know, but my intent was never to be exactly here on the 6, but this is perfectly executed regardless of the intent. So I'm on the 6 here, just a natural roll from the 6 into the side pocket here, and just controlling the speed, not trying to do too much with the cue ball, just keeping everything here on a string and beautifully set up here for this last shot. Now one of the tips that I've gotten from pros by watching YouTube videos is that one of the things that the pros do is that for the last shot they don't just pot it just because it's easy. They pot the shot as if they're playing position for a next ball. You know that even if it's an easy pot or a difficult pot, you're always going to have control over that cue ball, and that's very important there. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys enjoyed that demonstration of quality pool. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, leave some positive questions and comments down below, and do not forget to share this out to your pool community. Let's continue practicing with precision, accuracy, consistency and control.